Here is a problem that may be giving you trouble with your homework. We are supposed to graph the function f of x is equal to 2 to the x minus 3 by using transformations away from 2 to the x power. Well, we've first been given some ordered pairs that would be part of 2 to the x, and we're asked to decide what this minus 3 at the back will do to each of these ordered pairs. Minus 3 at the back is a vertical transformation, shifting our picture down by 3 places. It is the y value for each of the ordered pairs that controls up or down. So when we subtract 3 from each of the y values, that will give us our new function. It's easy to subtract with these back 2 points. 2 minus 3 gives me negative 1. 1 minus 3 gives me negative 2. Notice that the x's did not change because there was no horizontal change for this picture, only a vertical shift occurred. The one that is a little bit harder to do is the 1/2 that is with the first ordered pair. 1/2 minus 3, in order to do that subtraction, we have to have a common denominator. So when we do this, let's leave the 1/2 as it is, but change negative 3 into something with a denominator of 2. 6 over 2 is the same as 3. So if we subtract 6 over 2, that's the same as subtracting 3. 1/2 minus 6/2 gives me negative 5/2. So the new y value that I need is negative 5/2. And these would be our ordered pairs. Now, when we go to graph this, if we click to enlarge the picture, first we need to find our exponential shape, which is this one. Now, if we click anywhere on the picture, we'll see a dialog box pop up that will help us to draw our picture. We've already noticed that we had a vertical shift of down 3. So we'll put minus 3 in the vertical shift box to make this happen. Now, the other thing that needs to change, notice that our base is listed as e, but the base in the problem was actually 2. It was 2 to the x power. So I need to change this base also to being 2. Now, if we hit enter, our picture will be drawn, and we can check to see that this answer is correct. When we save it, now we'll know that our answer is correct by checking that answer. So as you try to graph these, remember that you have to change the base to whatever is the base of your exponential, and you also have to account for any vertical or horizontal shift that may be occurring. A second problem that may be giving you some difficulty is trying to graph f of x is equal to the base 3 log of x minus 3. We want to know what this minus 3 in parentheses will do. That makes a horizontal shift to the right. Remember that a minus sign in the grouping symbol moves you to the right, while a plus sign would move you to the left. Now, again, you're given some x values to substitute in, and you want to try to figure out what the corresponding y's are going to be. But since this is a base 3 log, it doesn't work quite as nicely on your calculator as if it was a base 10 log or if it was a natural log. We can get around this problem by using the change of base formula. So let's look at the 12 back here that we were given. If we put 12 in for this x, 12 minus 3 would be 9. So we've got the base 3 log of 9 that we're trying to compute. If we pull up our calculator, we don't have a base 3 log key on the calculator. But what the change of base formula tells us that we can do, the 9 that we have in the parentheses, type it in first, then hit your natural log key, ln, then divide by whatever base is here. In this case, I've got 3, and press ln there. And now we also need to press equals at the end of this. And you can see that the value that we get is the 2 that I've put in here. If we were to take 6 and put it in for x, 6 minus 3 is 3. So the base 3 log of 3 is what we're trying to compute. If I put 3 in, push L in, divided by 3, and push L in. It's no surprise that we get 1. Dividing something by itself is going to give us 1. So whatever number you're given up here, substitute it in for the x, figure out what's here, take the natural log of that, divided by the natural log of your base, and be sure to press equals. Now, as we try to graph this, click to enlarge the graph. Here is our logarithmic shape. Again, let's just click somewhere on the picture to get it to draw us a log picture. And now let's think about how we need to change this log to match our current problem. Our current problem has in parentheses that -3. So that's a horizontal shift to the right by 3 places. To make it go to the right by 3 places, let's put a +3 in the horizontal shift box. We also need to change our base box. Remember, our base that was given to us in this problem was a base of 3. So I need to change that base to 3 to make this work. If you were asked to draw a natural log, the base for a natural log is e. If you were asked a common log where there was no base listed, then the base would be 10. But for this problem, the base we are told is 3, so let's put 3 in for that base. Hit enter, and it draws our picture for us. Now we can save that picture and check our answer to be sure that it's like it should be. Looks like we've got it. So remember, change the base box and also account for any horizontal or vertical shift as you draw these pictures.